And then we're ready to start. Happy Friday, everyone. Welcome to Virtual Networkers. We're so exciting to see you. Hey, Jinglin, good to see you. I'm glad you made it in. Yay!
Yay! Great to see y'all.
Yay! So we are here to start Virtual Networkers. Those who don't know me, I'm Jill Celeste, founder of Virtual Networkers. Here's how our meeting will go today. We will spend time doing 30-second introductions. I do ask that you keep it to 30 seconds or less because you can see we have a full house and more people coming in. That way we have time for everyone, so 30 seconds or less. And then Debbie will introduce our speaker, and then Carrie Eakins will take it over. She's drinking, I'm sure it's water, but maybe vodka, to get us ready for our presentation today. And then at the end, we'll have our members do the announcements. It'll be 9 o'clock before you know it. So to kick us off with 30-second introductions, I'll ask Anne to go and then Marilyn. Go ahead, Anne.
Oh, I'm unmuted. So, have you ever desired more from your home? Have you ever wondered how to even start? My name is Anne. I'm a home stylist with Heart based in Zurich, Switzerland, and I provide a variety of virtual and in-person consultations on how to make easy changes for any budget that will improve the energetic and aesthetic feel of your home. If that's not enough, I'm working on a home decorating line as well, but it won't be available until Christmas. But yeah, if you want to put the OM back in your home, give me a call. Oh, I was doing so good. Anyway, call me. Not call me. Book a thing with me at shirleysgirl.com. Oh.
You got it. 2/3, you're almost there. Before I have Marilyn go, for those of you just joining us coming in here at the 8 o'clock hour, please put your first, last name, and email address in the chat box. That's how we take attendance. So I'll have Marilyn and then Margaret.
Good morning, everyone. So are you living your perfect life with no concerns, no fears, nothing holding you back from something you actually want to do? If not, hypnosis can probably help you resolve your issues. It's been amazingly effective. I recently talked to a friend of mine, another hypnotist, who used it to have some hernia surgery. Yes, hypnosis is so effective in dealing with pain. You can use it before, during, and after surgery to help you recover more quickly, reducing the need for drugs, which stays in your system and really is not so helpful. So if you'd like to learn more, give me a call, send me an email. I'd love to talk with you. Marilyn Kopaz at Essential Health and Hypnosis.
Thank you, Marilyn. Margaret, then Tammy.
Well, good morning, everyone. Margaret Martin here in delightful Dunedin, Florida, on the west side of Tampa. I work with really awesome women in their 50s, 60s, and 70s, helping them redesign their life, looking at what the next chapter holds. What might I do during retirement? I've planned it financially, but I also am renewing a program that I put away many, many years ago, and that's working with ex-wives of professionals, dentists, attorneys, physicians, helping them heal in months what it took me years. So you can reach me at margaretmartin.com.
Thank you, Margaret. Tammy, then Jennifer.
Good morning. My name is Tammy Grant. I'm the founder and CEO of Travel World, which is a full-service travel agency. In addition to that, we help small business owners, nonprofit organizations, and special interest group plan retreats from soup to nuts. So if you've always thought about hosting a retreat and don't know where to start, I'm your girl.
Awesome, Tammy. Good to see you. Jennifer, then Debbie.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. I'm Jennifer Restman, your small business content specialist. I'm here to help you build your business content online. And what used to be Voyu Marketing is now Voyu Business Writing here in still lovely Central Florida. And while you probably knew me as a social media marketer, I have adjusted my business to help my clients better. Making the content is such a big undertaking, and it can be hard to stay consistent and do all the things. So it's now all about content creation for you. Find me on LinkedIn. I'd love to connect if we haven't connected already, and at voyu.com. Thank you.
Thanks, Jennifer. Debbie, then Kelly.
Good morning from Baltimore. I'm Deborah Keevan of Highlander Press. Have you ever had a dream in your heart to become a published author? Highlander Press actually guides you from the whole process, from an idea all the way to, oh my God, I'm an author. We're here to serve globally women who have an impact to make.
Thank you, Debbie. Kelly, then Mary Beth.
Good morning from stormy New Orleans. I wonder how many of you have recently had a conversation with a friend over coffee, tea, whatever, and she just began to share, oh, I'm having this problem and getting old sucks. And we can relate because some of us are experiencing that ourselves as well. But I'm Kelly Lutman, a certified health coach who uses functional medicine principles to find the root cause of what it is that makes good and old suck. I look at your symptoms as a gift. That's a shock for a lot of people, but a gift that your body is sending messages, and those messages tell what's missing. And missing, it's not missing a medication, it's missing building blocks. So I help my clients find the missing building blocks, provide them for their body, and discover just how good they can feel in their body. Kelly Lutman with Pursue Wellness for You, Wellness for Life, because health is wealth.
Thank you, Kelly. Mary Beth and Sherry.
Hi, everybody. Mary Beth Decker, animal communicator in Alexandria, Virginia. I don't know if you can see this, but I'm doing this for Debbie. Okay, just give you enough time. Be nice to me or I'll kill you in my next novel. It's just a fun little cup. I talk with the animals, just talked to a little dog who spent half of her life, she's a year old, in Florida, and she's back here in DC, and she's like, where's Mimi and Pop Pop? Where's my uncle? Where are the other dogs? And we helped her realize that Mimi and Pop Pop are coming in 2 weeks, and then she's back in her real home. So that I do that kind of stuff. Thank you.
Thanks, Mary Beth. Sherry, then Susan Shelton.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Sherry Andrews. I am a small business attorney, author, and speaker. I work with small businesses and solopreneurs, primarily female-owned, to help you make sure that all of the legal aspects of your business are taken care of. You can find me at sherryandrews.com.
Thank you, Sherry. For those of you who are coming in not late, but when you arrived, first, last name, and email address in the chat box, please. That's how we take attendance. Susan, then Judy.
Spring has sprung, the grass is rising. That box of tissues beside you is not surprising. Good morning, I'm Susan Shelton, wellness consultant, currently in Reedville, Virginia. It's April, the month of showers that lead to flowers and pollen and allergies. Years ago, I was a severe allergy sufferer, dependent on medications for relief. But after following a protocol for a couple of months, I was able to ditch my meds. Who do you know who's looking for allergy symptom relief? Let's schedule a coffee chat, and soon, because the pollen is here. Thanks.
Thanks, Susan. Judy, then Darlene.
Hi, I'm Judy Kane, and my business is Aligned Consciousness, and I help people rewrite subconscious self-limiting beliefs. People come to me for three main reasons. They either come because they've got these emotions that are getting in their way on a regular basis. They come because they've got conscious goals they aren't hitting, even though they're trying really hard, or they've got physical symptoms of stress. Judy Kane, Aligned Consciousness.
Thanks, Judy. Darlene, then Suzanne Moore.
Good morning. Excuse me, Darlene Elkins, artistic photographer living in Tampa, Florida. And I'm wondering if you've ever seen repeat patterns that are, excuse me, appealing to you, or repeat colors that are appealing to you. There's something about our brain that looks for that consciously, unconsciously. And if you'll go on, if you'll follow me on darlene.elkins on Instagram, you'll notice that I consciously choose similar colors or similar patterns so that your eye is attracted to that. And I invite you to do the same with yours. Find things that are similar in just a small way to get people to want to step in and chat with you. Thank you.
Thanks, Darlene. Suzanne, then Laura T.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Suzanne Moore, and I help independent entrepreneurial women figure out what the 2 to 3 things are that they really need to focus on in order to bring revenue into their business so they can stop feeling like they're playing a game of whack-a-mole with their to-do list, and that takes up all their valuable time. If you'd like to connect with me, you can do that at suzannetmoore.com, and my link for a coffee chat is in the chat.
Thank you, Suzanne. Laura, then Laura.
Good morning. I'm Laura Templeton from Bradenton, Florida. And at 30 Second Success, we help people develop their 30-second message for networking and video. How many of you know someone who refuses to network because they don't want to do their 30-second message, right? It doesn't have to be hard. There's an easy, simple way to help coach people into feeling comfortable, feeling confident, because they have a message inside of them that's just dying to get out, just like a book, right, Debbie? So if you know someone who is struggling to communicate effectively who they are in 30 seconds or less, I can help. I'm Laura Templeton with 30 Second Success.
Thanks, Laura. Laura Clark and Carrie.
Gotta get my mute off. Good morning, everyone. I return with one of my favorite quotes by James Clear, and that is, goals are good for setting a direction, but systems are best for making progress. I'm Laura Clark, founder of Chief Executive Management, located in Monroe, New York. I help support entrepreneurs with handling the day-to-day management as well of projects, operations, and team members. So together with my team, we help entrepreneurs transform their workday by reducing workloads, maximize productivity, while we bring systems to their daily business activities, virtually supporting your office while you do business.
Yay, Laura! Woohoo! Love the evolution. Carrie, then Suzanne Bellavista.
Hello, my name is Carrie Eakins and I am in beautiful Sheffield, England. I am a body geek and a mentor, so I'm fascinated by the human body. I'm also fascinated by people, by the way that we create, the way that we make, the way that we can just make amazing things happen in our lives, and also the way that we can completely and utterly gunk ourselves up. So I use a combination of mentoring and mindset work, as well as physical hands-on work. I have a membership program called the Body Geek Club, where people can learn how to connect into their bodies and start unraveling what's going on in there, what stories are theirs to keep and what stories are there to reframe and pass on. If you're interested in any of that, you'll hear a little bit more about me in a while.
Yay! Thanks, Carrie. Suzanne, then Jingling.
Good morning, everyone, from Western Massachusetts, where it is snowing as we speak. We had great spring weather, but we had a little blip back to snow. So follow me on Instagram and you guys will get to see, because I'm going to post some of the images and I'll put that in the chat box over here. Here's my question for you. Have you ever been at a major crossroads in your life and you weren't sure which direction you wanted to go next? And maybe there was a part of you that wished that God or the universe or someone you trusted could just give you the right answer. Looking at your astrological chart and what's bubbling up in it at this very moment based on universal energies can provide you with a validating roadmap for where you're being called to go and grow next. Your inner wisdom always has the answer. Your astrological chart can help you reconnect to your inner wisdom. I'm Suzanne Bellavista of the Soulful Living Project, a spiritual teacher and astrologer, and I help individuals going through a major life transition such as divorce, career change, kids off to college, or retirement figure out what's next for them by connecting to their inner voice of wisdom and the loving and supporting energy of the natural world around them. If it's time for you or someone you care about to figure out what's next, please get in touch with me at soulfullivingproject.com.
Thank you, Suzanne. Jingling, and then Stacy.
Great. Good morning, everyone. My name is Jingling Yang, and I'm a fitness habit coach. Have you noticed that usually after a workout, you say to yourself, that was a great workout. I'm so glad that I made the right decision. Yay! However, sometimes you don't feel like working out, right? But so you give yourself 20 reasons why you shouldn't work out at all that day. So my job is to help you to cut down the don't feel like it days by 80% so that you can actually stick to the workout routines that you love and have a much better life. Thank you.
Thank you. That's awesome. Good work. Stacy, then Connie Joe.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Stacy Rowan, Custom Built Life, and I work with business owners and solopreneurs. Do you know any business owners who have gotten into their business? They're doing it by themselves, and it's just all a little much. They're not sure they're heading in the right direction. They have so many decisions to make. They're not confident in their decision-making ability, and they really just wish there was someone that could help them through that. That's what I do. I partner with business owners to teach them their unique style as a business owner, how to make confident decisions, and what is going to work for them, whereas many of the experts that you talk to are teaching what worked for the expert. I say can show the business owners through their human design exactly what will work for them so that they can have their successful business that works in harmony with the rest of their life. So again, Stacy Rowan at Custom Built Life.
Thank you, Stacy. Connie, Joe, then, oh, look who's here, Loudon. Yay!
Are you behind with your books? Are your books a mess? You're not sure what to do? You're feeling the stress? Let's get started. Your books will get done, and along the way, we will surely have fun. Just schedule a chat. We'll figure it out. You'll get up to date. Of that, there's no doubt. Good morning from Atlanta. I'm the bodacious bookkeeper, Connie Jo Miller of Enigma Bookkeeping Solutions. Schedule some time with me today. My link is in the chat box.
Thank you, Connie Jo. Then we go to Loudon and then Kate Arbuckle.
Hey, people, it's too early to party, I know, but I am your party lady and I'm here to help you. And Loudon would leave it to me. And I can help you after you've done all the fabulous things all the other ladies here. They're going to get you to exercise and get your books in order. They're going to do everything else. Then we're going to party. So I can help you with all milestone events. But I definitely focus on end of life events. I don't want to be helping any of you with that, but I am the death party lady, I guess you can call me that. So if you know anyone that has unfortunate this part of life event that they need to plan, I take everything off their plate and ensure that they can have the time to grieve so that they don't have to worry about picking up dirty plates and that type of thing. So Loudon would leave it to me.
Oh, thank you. We're glad you're here. And then Kate, finish us off, please.
Oh, it's so good to see everybody. I've been meaning to join you all for so long. Carrie was like, come on. So I'm Kate. I run a company called Shine Your Light Goddess, mynaturalhappiness.com. I've created a boot camp called Shine Your Light Goddess, Shine Your Light Boot Camp. And it's really something that's born out of the fact that when I've been coaching my clients over and over and over again, the same stuff kept happening, which was that people, amazing women, were just about to break through and have the most amazing success. And they just kept coming against an invisible shield. And what I realized was so much of that was from our ancestors of blood and spirit, that in their day they had to hide in plain sight in order to be able to survive and exist. And so they were coming in and protecting them. So I've created an 8-week boot camp that helps honor those ancestors of blood and spirit and honor their wishes and release release the shackles so we can shine our lights and create amazing success in our lives. That's Kate, mynaturalhappiness.com, running a free event in my Facebook page next week.
Wonderful. We're glad you're here, Kate. Thanks for joining us. Thanks, Carrie, for dragging her along. Speaking of Carrie, we're going to have Debbie introduce our speaker. And then Carrie, if you can go to about, I know it's not 8:40 your time, but 40 after the hour, and then we'll open it up for questions, okay? Go ahead, ladies.
Carrie Ekins is passionate about humans, their ability to create, to make, to invent, and to be, and intrigued by the ways in which we block our own paths and fail to believe in our individual and collective brilliance. Carrie's mission is to help freaking amazing people fulfill themselves to say yes to their potential and open themselves up to all the good stuff, throwing their gunk to the wind whilst making what makes them special, slinky, and fabulous. Scintillated by wonder, filled up with curiosity, an avid eater of cake, there are always more questions than answers. I present the fabulous Carrie Ekins.
Well, hello. my gosh. So today, I'm excited. I'm also a little nervous. Please play along with me. I'm quite interactive. It'd be lovely if you get your hands on as well. So we're talking about one of my favorite loud women. She really is one of my favorites. She's so loud. Her name is Ida Rolf. So she was born in 1896 in the Bronx. By 1916, she had achieved her bachelor's degree in chemistry. And in 1917, she started her doctoral studies, which meant that by 1920, she had her PhD in biological chemistry. I mean, for the time, 100 years ago, that in itself is pretty cool. All right, so throughout the 20s as well, she studied yoga and tantra. In 1926, she went to Switzerland so she could study mathematics and atomic physics. Yeah, Anne's like, woo! And she carried on working pretty much up until her death in 1979. But she was in her 60s when she got interested in structural integration. And she studied at the amazing Esalen Institute. And she devised this way of dealing with the body's gunk called Rolfing. And it's a really systematic approach to helping the body to heal itself. So she got into this because of her health problems and the health problems of her two sons. She explored homeopathy and osteopathy and chiropractic and yoga. And she settled on this idea that the body functions at its best when it's in its most structural alignment. So when everything's sitting nicely. So she's very much the New Yorker, and she had this idea of where you think it is, it ain't. Now, if anyone can do a proper Bronx accent, I bet it sounds amazing. I'm as London as they get, so I haven't got it. But the idea of the statement is that we get in our heads this idea of where the pain in our body is coming from, where the discomfort in our body is coming from. And what Ida is asking us to do is to examine that that pain might be originating from somewhere else. And what we're really seeing is a knock-on effect. We're seeing the symptoms rather than the cause. I find that fascinating in so many ways. So for the past 15 years, I have been a myofascial release practitioner, which means I'm interested in the connective tissue of the body. And when we're looking at the connective tissue of the body, it's quite different to just looking at the muscles as a massage therapist would. I originally trained as a massage therapist. So we go to the next level of curiosity. We go to an interest in how mind and body connects. Anyone who has studied any trauma work, it's kind of out there for a Friday morning virtual networker session, but there's amazing trauma work, especially by Peter Levine and Bessel van der Kolk. And they talk a lot about how we store emotional events, positive and negative, at a cellular level in our body. So when we're dealing with scar tissue and we're dealing with kind of, you know, the knots and the binding up of the muscle, when we deal with those injuries that aren't going away, we have to bear in mind that there's possibly like a chemical residual memory of what happened when we hurt ourselves. That opens up this whole world of curiosity in me. Like, how many times do we hold ourselves back because we're so scared of things that went wrong before? And how often in our modern lives are we spending so much time rushing that even amazing things like Pilates and yoga and meditation become kind of tick box exercises, and that we rarely connect in with ourselves. So we're going to explore some of this, and we're going to explore the mind body together. But first, I'd like you to get a sense of what it feels like to connect in on a physical level. So if you are willing, I'm going to ask you to take a hand and just pop it just under your collarbones. So finger and thumb on your collarbones. And if you can come onto your skin, that's perfect. It works through clothing as well. So feet flat on the floor, uncrossing your legs, allowing yourself just to settle into wherever you sat. And we're just going to sit with that hand. I'd like you to become aware of the warmth of your hand and become aware of how that feels. Just let your attention settle into that soft pressure between hand and chest. Now bring your attention out further. Start to wonder what else is going in your body. Is there a shoulder that just kind of goes, woohoo? Just gives you a little nudge, a little bit of a, hey, you haven't looked at me in a while. Is there a knee that's going, oh, I don't like being sat like this? How do your hips feel? How does your bum feel as it sits on that seat? You may notice that your breath drops a little lower in your chest. That you get that deep breath, that you feel your body sigh. You may realize it's been a while since you just sat quietly and connected to yourself. And let your body have a chat. You can take your hand away and just feel that residual warmth, that residual touch. And it's so interesting, isn't it? That when we sit quietly with ourselves, you can feel yourself ground back in. You can feel yourself start to resettle. I think for most of us in the last 12 months, we've experienced a little bit of a roller coaster. And as our world starts to open back up again, I've had many conversations with friends and with clients about how different the world feels, how we're having to relearn how to pass each other in the street, and when a shop is busy, how it feels to like be in that environment. And I feel that probably more than ever, that gentle touch is what's required, because it allows us to become aware of our tightness and our tension. So in my training, we've studied a lot around the fight or flight response. And generally, there's 3 stages of the fight and flight response. There's the stimuli, there's what we do. So if we take it back a step, there's a part of your brain called the limbic system. Basically, the limbic system is there to keep you alive, which means that it's going to respond to every danger. Now, unbeknownst to the limbic system, saber-toothed tigers actually became extinct a really long time ago. But it sees all emails and traffic jams and deadlines as a saber-toothed tiger. So it's constantly getting us on high alert and high alert. And that's the first stage of the stress response. And then the second part of our stress response is that we then either fight, flight, or we freeze. So we answer the emails, we get through the presentation, we make the vegetable outfit for our child who has to go to National Vegetable Day next Thursday at school and they want to go with a carrot. We do all these things. Now, an animal in the wild would then shake off that energy, wouldn't they? We see pictures of animals on the wildlife programs and we see them having a good old shake. But humans don't do that because we're on a tick box schedule. So now we're on to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. So instead of allowing all that energy to shake itself down, we hold the rest of that residue of the chemicals of the cortisol and the adrenaline within the cells of our body. So instead of calming, it gets more stressed and more stressed and more stressed. And because our body's trying to help us survive, it goes, well, this is normal, and this is normal. Giving ourselves the opportunity to make soft connection with our body allows us to drop into that nice, calm part of our nervous system. It allows us to scintillate that part of our brain through the vagus nerve, When we had the hands, I don't know how many here felt when they had their hand on their skin, you could feel your breath drop deeper. You could feel it kind of like coming right down into your ribs, into your belly. So then you're using a muscle called your diaphragm, which activates a nerve called the vagus nerve, which then switches you from high alert to rest and relaxed. Just by spending time connecting to ourselves, by grounding ourselves, we can avoid all those moments of anxiety and burnout, and we can make clearer, better decisions. There's a game I often play on these talks, and I'm going to play it with you now because I love it, and I think it demonstrates so well how the way we think and the way we feel are connected. It's a little thing I like to call the body as barometer, and hopefully when you experience it, you'll go, oh, I have so much more control than I thought. So what I'm going to ask you to do, I'm going to just move myself back a little, is I'm going to ask you to bring one arm up. Now you can totally do this sat down. I normally get people to do it stood up, but we'll do it sat. So you're going to keep your hips fixed and you're going to keep your eyes on your fingertips. Now don't just let your shoulder go like that. You're going to rotate with your ribs and you're going to follow your fingers, okay? So just see how far around you can comfortably rotate and then bring it back. I love watching as everyone's like coming back. And then we're going to go in the opposite direction, avoiding the pot plant, and then come on back. All right, now, what I would love is for you to bring a feeling, an emotion up. I want you to imagine the happiest you have ever felt, the most alive, brilliant, positive. It could be the memory of the happiest moment in your life, but really let that emotion like flood you and kind of let yourself be in the moment. So get yourself in a place where you've got that real positive, happy emotion going on. And we're going to do the same test. So bring your arm up and following your fingertips, keeping yourself in that emotional state. See how far around you go. And come back. And then swap arms. Following your fingertips, keeping in that emotional place, and see how far you go. Lovely stuff. Anne's like, ah. Alrighty, let's go in the opposite direction. If you will allow yourself, how about you try a heavy emotion? You can either bring up a memory of something which makes you feel sad or down, or just, if you will, just let yourself go into that place where you just feel that real, the weight of the feeling. If you want to try angry, I've not seen angry. If you want to try angry, Anne, you go for it. I'd like to see how that works, actually. All right, you got it? Everyone got it? Okay, bring your fingers up when you got it. And see how far you turn there. And come on back. And we're going to go in the opposite way. Alrighty, I would love to know, did any of you experience any difference? All right, anyone want to tell me what you felt? I want to know as well how Anne moved with angry.
Yes, I was very angry yesterday, and that came up, and I got about halfway.
You went about halfway. So did you go as far, further, less far?
It was not as far as the very first time, and about halfway from when I was doing my happy thought.
Yeah, yeah.
With the right arm. The left arm is not doing anything. I tried. So.
It's amazing though how being in a happy frame of mind completely changes how our body feels. And it's like, all you had to do was summon up that emotional. Yeah, exactly, Stacey. Far less sad than you felt with the happy, because we are so emotionally in tuned in our bodies. And so knowing that you can switch it across that simply can really change how you operate, how you consider your place in the world as well. And it really shows that there is this strong link, even though we like to be, it's very Descartesian, isn't it? Oh, the mind and the body, they're so separate. Oh, I'm such a cognitive being, and this body, it's just a shell. It's just this thing I inhabit. And in actual fact, we are so connected. And yet so often we overload them. Did you? More yeah, tightness in your back. Yeah. And there's another interesting thing. Where does it show up for you? I generally use the arm because generally if we're sat in a Zoom room like this, it's like, well, what can we move? How can we move? And my work, when I work with people, is saying, where does that sit in your body? How do you experience that emotion? What is the story that you've been telling yourself? Like Anne was saying, I was really angry yesterday. So you let yourself back into that emotional place. And also it shows that there's still energy in that. So then how do we allow ourselves? And there's great ways, like tapping's a great way. I use a different energy release method to allow us to like filter that energy through, shake it off from ourselves. And that means that we can cast it off and carry on creating this amazing, positive experience for ourselves. Just to finish up, I'm going to show you one more little trick because it's so amazing when you feel overwhelmed in the world. It's just a lovely little stress buster. So all you're going to need is your pinkies and your ears. All right, so hooking your index fingers just inside your ear, and then your thumb is going to give you a cuddle underneath your earlobe. So you've got them in a little pinch. Yeah, can you see my ear? All right, so the first thing you're going to do is just gently pull your earlobes down to the ground. Can you see it, Anne? Okay, so we go gently down, just allowing your body to soften in the chair. And then when you start to feel a little sigh in your earlobes, hello, have you ever heard that one before? How often have you asked if your earlobes are sighing? We're then going to just stretch our earlobes out to the corners of our shoulders. And it's almost like you can feel your scalp melt. Add in a nice big belly breath. And maybe for some of you, there'll be awareness of where else you can feel that release in your body. I can feel it in the back of my neck. There's one particular vertebrae that's going, oh yeah. And it's just a lovely way to find a little bit of quiet and calm and peacefulness. So thank you for your time, everybody. If you have any questions about all the random ways you can connect in with your body, I'd be happy to answer.
Thank you so much, Carrie. That was always so much fun and relaxing at the same time. Who has a question or a comment for Carrie today? Oh, go ahead, Suzanne Moore.
So I love that, Carrie. I have a dear friend who does John F. Barnes myofascial release. And I used to live near her. I don't anymore, but I really learned a lot about unwinding with her. Yes. And I love to use the little ball that she gave me. And just, I mean, sometimes I'll spend like an hour on the weekend just, unwinding different areas of my body. And I always feel so much better after. So thank you for this. It was a great reminder. I think I'll do that this weekend.
It's so just the longer you can spend in one position, making that gentle connection. Like you say, you unwind. It's like you just give your body permission to go, and here is all the gunk, and let it go. It's just great.
Love it.
Well, I'm
Very
completely
cute.
passionate about what I do or anything.
No, not at all. Anyone else have a comment? Go ahead, Marilyn.
Carrie, you know what I love so much about that, especially the last exercise, is the residual calming. You know, once I let it go, I could still feel it.
Yeah.
And, you know, just loved it. I'm going to start using that. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. And I train with John F. Barnes as well. And it's that amazingness of, I always say to my clients, this is going to keep rolling through for a couple of days, because it does. And you can just feel your body go, boom, 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 boom. Just settles all the way through. It's lovely.
Go ahead, Anne.
I was just going to say also with that, because I can't reach my ear with my other hand, so I didn't do it. This side does feel really relaxed, and I like the difference is crazy. So it's really, really noticeable because I didn't do both sides. So interesting.
Interesting.
And she used her right hand to do the left, Carrie?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And in fact, that's great as well, because then you're cross-crawling across both hemispheres of your brain. So you're scintillating your brain even more and asking it to do lots of good stuff.
I love that you used the word scintillating twice today. And I love it. It's not a word. We need to use that word more.
Yeah.
I love it. Wow. Suzanne B, go ahead with it, and then we'll go to announcements. Go ahead, Suzanne.
Yes, Carrie, thank you so much. Your passion is evident and brings everything extra much to life. My question for you is, how do you, if you do, work with people from a long distance if they can't be, I mean, I don't even know if you work in person, but how do you work with people like us who are around the world?
I ask a lot of questions. Anyone who knows me knows that I ask a lot of questions. And I think one of the fascinating things about individuals is that two people can have the same experience, and yet they will carry the story in a different way. And when you start asking questions, so long as you're watching, you see so much information about what's going on. And then I'll ask people to start placing hands on. As Suzanne was saying that she has the ball, so we use a therapy ball or a foam roller or a tennis ball. So I guide people through how they can self-treat. And at the same time, we can do energy clearing, we do mindset reframing, story reframing. Kate's just mentioned, I've got a thing called the Body Geek Club, which is all about self-treatment at home. So there's loads of ways in which you can grow your own ability to feel in. It's like we can all learn this skill. It's an amazing healing process that our bodies just want us to, they want us to get involved with ourselves. They want us to connect to ourselves. So it can be done virtually. It works really well.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Carrie, feel free to drop links to the Body Geek Club or any of your offerings in the chat box so that people can check it out. Awesome. Thank you so much, Carrie Egan.
Thank you.
Yay. So we're going to move now to announcements. So this is how announcements will work. If you are our speaker or our guest today to Virtual Networkers, please use the chat box to drop your announcements. So you can promote anything you'd like and ask, put links in there if there's a certain website, etc. Feel free to use that. If you are a member of Virtual Networkers, you'll be able to do a verbal announcement. And remember, we do one of two things. You do the announcement, again, and ask something you need help promoting, etc., or a shout out. One or the other, so that we all are done by 9 a.m. Eastern time. So, Anne, I'm going to have you go, and then I will go, and then Marilyn.
I have no announcements. I have a bit of an ask. I am terrified about the coffee dates because I don't know what to do. All I do is talk, and then I realize I've not asked anything, and I need coaching. And anyone who would like to have a coffee date with me and coach me would be fantastic. I would very much appreciate it.
That's a wonderful ask, by the way, Anne. Let's just stop for a second. Yeah. Good for you. Because most people would just kind of not pay attention.
I've been doing that for a year, and then I'm like, every time you say, oh, you should call, I'm like, I'm not doing it because I don't know how. And then I talk. Anyway. And also thank you, Carrie. I met you once, Unicorn Lady, and it was really nice to see you again. So yeah.
Thank you, Anne. Thank you for that. All right, I'll go real quick. Virtual Networker stuff. We have some members who aren't with us today, and some need some loving energy and healing. So if you could just keep Hannah and Kate Barnes, not Kate Arbuckle, but you can keep Arbuckle in your thoughts too. And Rachel, not feeling well, kind of icky stuff. Susan Driscoll, miss you. Tracy's at a networking meeting, miss you ladies. We'll see you next week. Thank you to Laura Clark for renewing into Virtual Networkers for another year. Yay! And also, speaking of coffee dates, next Friday is our virtual coffee date party. So please, if you're a guest, feel free to come back. This is a lot of fun. We do coffee dates together, and please invite your friends. And then on a Jill Celeste note, I wrote this book called That First Client. If you haven't gotten your copy, you can buy it from your favorite bookseller. And here's my big ask. Please leave a review. Authors need reviews like you wouldn't believe. So if you could just leave a review on your wherever you purchased it from, I would greatly appreciate it. So now we'll move on to Marilyn and Margaret.
All righty. So
I didn't
so
pay for
I got it. I am in the process of reading it. And I will write a review. And I'm looking at some of the other books that people are writing as I'm considering doing my own. So thank you, Debbie, for our coffee date this week. Kind of excited, kind of percolating some ideas. And Mary Beth and I had a coffee talk this week, which was absolutely excellent. I'm working on a list, trying to, as quickly as possible, to link up with all of you because I'm so new. I'm learning, and I want to figure out how we can help each other, promote each other. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Marilyn. Thank you again for buying my book. I appreciate it. Speaking of authors, Margaret Martin and then Tammy Grant.
Oh, Carrie, that was so fun. Thank you so much. And I'm connected to you on Instagram, so I see some of the things that you do, and it's good reminders. So thank you again. Justin asked join me on Mindful Monday at 12:30 Eastern on Facebook, on my Facebook page, which I will give you the link. This month, we're talking about this handy little book, The Chatter That Matters. And we're breaking it down into sections. And this week, we're talking about other chatter. So how do you have conversations with others? Are you in a rut? You know, sometimes we get in a rut with family members. So, and then I also have some thoughts about what about 2020, what some people call the lost year. I don't know about you, but I lived every day of it. So I'd love for you to go over and listen to my Mindful Monday. Thank you.
Thank you, Margaret. Tammy, then Jennifer.
Thank you so much. That was a great way to relax this morning and get my Friday started. My ask today is for anyone who's looking for travel inspiration or travel tips to join my VIP Facebook group, where we share all kinds of travel information as things are constantly evolving and changing right now. So there's a lot of good tidbits of information there, even if you're a self-planner. And I had a great connect with Jennifer this week, and she's going to help me with some of my coffee. So I'm excited for that. So she's going to help me get what's going on in here onto paper. Or onto, not actually onto paper. We don't do paper anymore, right?
Yeah, you can put on paper first. That's
get the idea.
Awesome. Good job. Thanks, Tammy. Jennifer, then Debbie.
Amazing how much paper we still use, isn't it? Thank you so much, Carrie, for being here and sharing that with us today. I did some pressure point stuff when I had a diagnosis that couldn't be solved and gallbladder pain. And if anything, it's a really nice distraction, like get you out of your head and focusing on just being still. So thank you for sharing that with us today. And I'm sorry, was I not supposed to also do a shout? I did want to give a shout to Jill and all of you here, because without you and this group, it just wouldn't be possible. I have a sick dog in the other room. He's 21. I said I wouldn't cry. He might not make it the weekend, but I can be here. So I appreciate all of you and doing this virtually. And if you want to connect on LinkedIn, that'll help. I'd love that. Have a great weekend. Thank you.
Sending love, Jennifer. Debbie, then Kelly.
Thank you so much, Carrie. I absolutely adore every moment that I get to spend in your company, because I always learn something new and it's just so fun. So thank you for being here. Just a shout out. I had a wonderful coffee date with Marilyn if you haven't had a coffee date with her yet, she is absolutely fascinating. And what she does in the world is just really interesting. So make sure to schedule a coffee date with her and have a great weekend, everybody.
Thank you, Debbie. Kelly, then Mary Beth.
Carrie, I was delighted to hear what you shared because we connect. Functional medicine talks the vagus nerve and talks to finding where the messages are coming from. And I love this exercise. I think I will use it with my clients. So thank you for sharing that new content. I'm going to be tracking you down on social media.
You won't regret it, Kelly.
Oh, good. Okay. Last call for my detox program, a 10-day food-based detox that incorporates also an elimination diet, because we need to get the gunk out there, you know, Carrie's way and my way too. Clear things out, because let's face it, normally winter is what's built up, but last year built up in our systems, and we need to just clear it out and revive our energy cellularly. So join me on my detox.
Thanks, Kelly. Mary Beth and Sherry.
Oh, and I also need to say thank you, Carrie. I think just being with you, I get into this kind of kid-like feeling, like I'm just a little kid in the playground playing. So thank you. It's a good way to start it for us, a Friday morning. So thank you so much. And I want to do a shout out to Sherry Andrews. You looked at my term, really good advice. That's, excuse me, not terms of service. My privacy policies back up. It's shiny, bright, new, and legally safe. And my disclaimer passed your test too. So I feel like, oh, thank goodness. So I'm going to be in your service workshop next month, because I just want to get them all. I want to get them all good. Yeah, I just don't want to trip over the fact that I shoulda, woulda, couldn't, didn't. So, you know, and I also had a great time, Marilyn. Thank you so much for spending that time with me. And that's it for me today. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Mary Beth. Sherry, then Susan Shelton.
So first up, Carrie, I enjoyed that so much this morning. I love your energy, and the exercises were fun. And so I appreciate that. Great way to start a Friday morning. Thanks, Mary Beth, for the mention of the workshops. I dropped that information in the chat already. I have a shout out to Judy Kane this morning. Some of you know this. I'm dealing with some anxiety and hesitation over this whole being an author thing. And Judy helped me out with that yesterday. And so hopefully I can be a little bit calmer about it now.
Good for you, Sherry, for accepting that help. Susan, then Suzanne Moore.
Carrie, what a great presentation. I was a little distracted, and I'm really looking forward to being able to do the replay to fully embrace some of the exercises you did, but the ones that I did this one, that was quite interesting. So thank you very much. I want to invite you all to join me for a couple of upcoming seminars and workshops. We have a gut and immunity workshop that's going to be Wednesday night, the 21st. The link will be in the chat box. We are also doing a 5-week Love Your Gut program where you can transform your health from the inside out. It begins April 26th. And if you'd like to watch the recording of our introductory call, that also will be in the chat box. And I would love to do some coffee dates. So that's in the chat box also. Y'all have a great week.
Thanks, Susan. Suzanne, then Darlene.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Carrie. Loved that. Loved. Such a good reminder. I am doing my Monday Marketing with Suzanne in my Marketing That Monetizes Facebook group. And I am focusing on, or I have a new series, and it's called What to Prioritize When You Don't Have Enough Clients. So if that is appealing to you, or if you know someone it may appeal to, I would love for you to send them my way and to the Marketing That Monetizes Facebook group. I'll put a link in the chat.
I love that topic. I'll tell you what it's not. Emptying your trash, cleaning out the closet, cleaning out the Google Drive. Okay, anyways, I digress. Darlene and Laura Templeton.
Carrie, it bears repeating. Thank you again for your passion, for energy, and your wisdom. So easy to get out of touch with our bodies. And thank you for putting me back in. I appreciate it greatly. Nothing else to say today.
Awesome. Thanks, Darlene. Laura, then Laura and Laura. The Laura and Laura Show. Go ahead.
So quick virtual networkers Wednesday meeting. We have a great talk coming up on how to use your ideal client avatar to get more, how to put your ideal client avatar to work for you. So that's coming up on Wednesday at 11 Eastern. So for those of you who like to pop into the other chapters and visit, or if you have friends that can't make it to Friday morning and want to check out another chapter, tell them all about it. So you can find that information in the Facebook group. And for those of you who love doing, who have dabbled with the idea of doing Facebook Lives, but feel like you don't have enough to talk about, I have a program that I offer. It's called 52 Weeks of Facebook Live, where I actually give you topics to work with. So you'll have one topic a week, put it into practice. I have had several people that I've worked with on that, and they absolutely love it. So if you're interested in that, I'll put some information in the chat and we can talk about it.
Thank you, Laura. Awesome stuff. Laura Clark, then Suzanne Bellavista.
Yes, thank you, Carrie. You obviously have shared your passion with us, so thank you for that. And no announcements, just enjoy your weekend.
Oh, I like that announcement. Thanks, Laura. Suzanne, then Stacy.
Today, I have a shout out for Darlene Elkins. As a personal buyer of her photographs, I just want to say to you all that if you, let me start with just saying that Darlene was there for me artistically and spiritually when I was going through my divorce, and I had to recreate my home. I moved out of my home and I had nothing on the walls. So I did buy some of her photographs and I still look at them every day. They helped me get through that hard time. Now, most of you probably have your homes mostly decorated, but I invite you to look around or be open. Is there one little wall or one little spot or one big spot that still needs something special? What I love about Darlene's photography is it's beautiful and soulful at the same time. So check her out on Instagram or check her out at photographsforthesoul.com. I think you can tell her presence in this group. She is a wise elder. So if you're looking for something to just make your home feel a little bit warmer or a little bit more inspiring in day-to-day life, Darlene's your photographer. Have a great
That's
week.
beautiful. Thank you, Suzanne. That's awesome. Stacy, then Connie Jo.
Hi, everybody. Carrie, that was fabulous. I noticed when we did the hand here that I had a knot in my back. I've been dealing with it for quite some time, even though I'm going to my chiropractor. But when we did the ear thing, I really felt it like release some. So that's fabulous. So I may just walk around all day with my hands on my ears. And people might think I'm a little weird, but feels so good. It's worth it, totally worth it. And I would like to give a shout out to Suzanne Bellavista because we had a lovely coffee chat and talked about how what we do is similar and what it's different. And it just felt like talking to a soul sister. I really enjoyed it. And I'm just keeping open because I feel like there's some connection there. So, and you may or may not know that human design in part is based on astrology, but I never actually, you don't need to learn the astrology piece. So it was great fun to kind of hear that from her. So thank you very much, Suzanne, and have a great week, everyone.
Thank you, Stacy. I'm loving all these announcements and shout outs today. Connie Jo, then Loden.
Thank you, Carrie. I love when we have participation presentations. That's so much fun. Thank you. And Monday, Virtual Networkers, we have Sharon Burton coming. She's a creativity coach. So I invite you all to come Monday, 3 p.m. to the Monday chapter. And for me, I love helping people get their books set up in QuickBooks Online. So if you are still using an Excel spreadsheet, I can help you get started. If you have QuickBooks Online and you're not really sure you're doing the right thing, I can also help you with that. So my link's in the chat box. Please reach out if you'd like help.
Thank you, Connie Jo. Lana and then Judy.
Hey everyone, so they tell you not to talk about religion with people, but guess what? On Tuesday, my taboo talk is about religion. It is losing and finding your religion. So if you have left your faith or found a new one, or just want to talk about something that you normally can't talk about, please join my Taboo Talks and Thoughts group. The link is in the chat. And this was great today. Thank you. I do know that I should cut my nails though next time. My nails
We're so glad you could come visit us. Awesome. Judy, bring us up.
Yes, got kicked out of the internet. So I'm offering my next business alignment workshop. If you're feeling like you're stuck in your business, this has helped the people who've gone through it make some big changes in a very short period of time. It's going to start May 6th, and I put the information in the chat box.
Awesome. We're glad you could reconnect. Before I go, I have a meeting after this. So if you need the chat box right away, go ahead and go to the 3 little dots toward the bottom of the chat box so you can save it. Otherwise, you will get the replay a little later today than I normally deliver. Just wanted to give you a heads up about that. Otherwise, I hope you have a fantastic weekend. I will see you next Friday for coffee dates. Bye.